Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kirk. Let's talk about the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. We're starting off with this one. Proof that originality died in 2024. Now, we all see it. They have the same tattoos, same idea, almost same placement. You know, one snake's alive, one snake's dead. To me, it's a very corny type of tattoo, but that doesn't really matter. This whole TikTok is about how people are unoriginal and finding their ideas probably on Pinterest. Now, as a traditional tattooer, that doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, I could walk into any tattoo shop in all of America, and if there's a traditional tattooer there, we're probably gonna have at least one tattoo that is exactly the same, or we're gonna have like one tattoo that is very similar in the same placement. Originality in tattooing is not important to me at all. I'm a traditional tattooer. We all have the same crap. But if you're into tattoos because you want to be original, you're probably just gonna end up with a lot of bad tattoos. Look, the most original tattoos are usually very dumb. This is a statement that has been said a million times before I've said it, and I stand by it because it's the truth. Originality in tattooing usually means that it's an idea that shouldn't be made into a tattoo. So do I care about this? Not really. Do I think it's a little boring? Sure I do. Absolutely. I think that just like the concept, this is just my personal take. This is a very personal take. I hate when people get like matching tattoo things. That doesn't mean I won't do it. That doesn't mean I won't always have to do it as a tattooer. But personally, I'm like, I don't really like when you pretty much get the same exact tattoo, just like a slight difference. You know, like you get a nurse and then you get a zombie nurse. It's like, why? You just got the same tattoo twice. Now, I'm actually about to have to like break that rule in a tattoo in the next few days. So you're gonna be watching a video of me talking crap and then having to tattoo virtually the same thing. But that's neither here nor there. That's just the way it goes. On to the next. I was giving myself a stick and poke tattoo until I saw my ink was acting a bit weird. Okay, that is very gross ink. And very clearly pen ink. Yes. Now, let's look at that tattoo and pause it on the actual tattoo. Yes. Just like that. Gross. So I have a few things to say here. When I was a young kid, 13 years old, tattooing people in my class, that is exactly the type of thing I did. I used to do this, and it ended up being as poor of an idea as you would imagine. And actually, I have friends who still have tattoos that were made with pen ink. So I'm sure their leg has cancer, 100%. But yeah, it's just a really bad idea. If you're putting metals and inks into your body that you don't know what they are, it's probably poisonous. That is clearly pen ink, and that should not be in your body. I feel kind of dumb having to say that in today's age. You know, like when I was doing tattoos, how old was it? I would have been like 12. So it would have been 2003. And it was much harder to figure out how to make tattoos on the internet back then in 2003. If it was 2010, probably would have been a different scenario. But yeah, I didn't know because I was stupid and I was just putting crappy ink into people. Now you have no excuse. If you got Google, you got no excuse. How much could some tattoo ink cost online? Like $4? I bet you could get like a vial for $4. You're an idiot. But hey, at least you tattooed yourself and you know, your hand's gonna fall off because you just gave it Bic AIDS. I don't know. On to the next. Okay. So like every week, like every day, like every moment, someone sends me a clip of a video and they ask me, how do you think this is gonna heal? And usually it's very normal stuff. If I don't respond, it's probably because it's a very normal type of heal. It's just gonna be fine. But occasionally you guys send me one that I'm like, that is an interesting thing. Let's talk about it. This is it. Here it is. Look at it. Interesting, right? Weird. A blackout with a bunch of negative snowflakes. And in the snowflakes, they used 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 different tones of blue, maybe 5. I think there's 4 with negative space completely not filled in, so it looks very white. So probably about 5 different tones of snowflakes. 4 different inks, 5 different tones. To me, this is totally fine. This is actually what I'm talking about when I'm saying like, hey, when you do a blackout, do it more interesting. It doesn't get much more interesting than this. Do I think it's gonna heal up very well? Potentially might be a great tattoo. It's a hard one to tell. Very hard. I think some of those dark blues that they put in it might end up looking just almost black, but then also those tones might lighten up. It's hard to say. I think that this is interesting. Do I want this tattooed on me? No. Do I think that you are gonna know exactly what this is in 10 years? Probably. Just because there's so much black around it and there's so much structure that they left in here, it's probably gonna be totally fine. Is it my favorite tattoo? Of course not. I don't want snowflakes. I don't like snowflakes. Honestly, if I have to be cold for more than half a second, I'm very upset. But very nice tattoo, very interesting tattoo. I'll rephrase that. I'll leave it there. That's how I feel about it. It'll probably be fine. Very cool that it exists. Yeah, next. We are gonna listen to a Chinese person translate foreigners' tattoos. I always enjoy these because I go, you're an idiot, and let's just get a little chuckle.
你的儿子出生了，是你的丈夫。Your son has been born. It's your husband. 变态 pervert. 粪 feces. 会议 conference. 44 not 44. 搞不懂 don't understand. 保姆爷爷 nanny grandpa. 和平爱健康力量 peace love health power. A lot of people have tattoos on their spine. That's good for the the numbing doctor. 鬼火龙神经 gibberish. 爸 dad 儿子 son 炒锅 frying pan.
Okay, so you guys get the point. You don't need to hear it anymore because who needs to hear any more of that? You guys don't know words in Chinese. How many people, let me see, because I could go look at my analytics and tell you exactly how many of you are Chinese. In the last 365 days, there has been exactly less than 0.01% of you in China. You don't speak Chinese. I almost guarantee that you don't speak Chinese. Unless you're an American or someone who speaks both languages, which is gonna be very few of you, you don't speak Chinese. Don't get Chinese tattooed on you. And probably don't get any other language that you don't understand tattooed on you ever. And you might even want to translate that to like, don't ever get anything tattooed at all. Because you don't know what any of it means. No, I don't know. Symbolism, you get people with like una lama mama lace, those like little dumb swirly things, or ohms, or all sorts of different tattoos. And I'm always like, do you really know what that means? What's something dumb I have tattooed? I think I have something. Nope, that's an 8-ball. I got a heart chakra. I probably don't really know what that means. Like I know in theory kind of what it means, but like the true depth of the symbol, I have no clue. Yeah, probably don't do that, I guess. For sure don't get words, because you're an idiot and you don't know Chinese. Not that you need to know Chinese to not be an idiot, but you're an idiot if you get Chinese and you don't know it. Heh, meh. On to the next. Okay, scariest tattoo of my life. It's called a 5-pointed star, and anybody who's ever tattooed a 5-pointed star knows that it's very easy to mess them up because it goes, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. And if you make a mistake, you go black, black, and then it ends up being either next to each other or whatever. It's in tattoo culture, in tatters, we always talk about this mistake. For me personally, I have never made this mistake. I've only done maybe like 10 5-pointed stars. There's a simple reason I've never made that mistake. When I make a stencil, I do all the lines and then I put a point, a little dot in the ones I'm supposed to black out so that when I see it as a tattoo, I just go, I outline it and then I put a dot, and then I put a dot, and I put a dot, and I put a dot, and that just secures, that makes me know like, okay, that's what's gonna be black. Just black out the ones with the dot. Don't touch the ones that aren't. Yeah, pretty simple. If you mess those up, you mess them up. I probably know like a couple hundred tattooers personally. I'm sure 90% of them have made that mistake, especially the older ones where 5-pointed stars were like very common tattoos in the 90s. So, next. Now, I heard this story, someone brought this up to me a little while ago. I've not watched any of this video. I've not seen the remarks of this. I'm curious to see it. We're gonna watch a little bit of it. I'm gonna try and not interrupt you too much.
I got over $300,000 worth of ink on my body.
$300,000 in tattoos is what everybody asked me about. Out of all the lessons that I have hopefully taught on Shark Tank, they asked me about two things: Mobos and $300,000 in tattoos. How do I have $300,000 in tattoos? Well, okay, well, it's not exactly in the form that you think. This one costs this one costs that. First of all, I've been an art lover for so many years, and growing up, I had a bunch of tattoos that were the normal, let me get number 7, let me get number 15. I had to have those removed. Now, what did I start off with again? I started off with 7777. Who God bless, no man curse. This is basic. It didn't cost me a lot. But I then discovered one person I was comfortable with, and his name is Arlo, based in Grand Junction, and I wanted him to take care of me. However, the problem is that I am too squirmish. So I fly out a sports doctor, somebody who numbs the entire area. The cost of flying that person out, the cost of numbing me, the cost of getting a room to numb me in, the cost of Arlo. All right, this one is the first one that I started to get with Arlo is when Minka was born. There you have it. All right, you can obviously see the detail. There are so many other artists that can do work such as Arlo, but he is known as one of the best. He started this.
Okay, so there you have it. $300 worth of ink is really just $300,000. Sorry, did I say $300? $300,000 worth of ink is really just $300,000 worth of Dr. Numb guy who goes to your office space and you rent a room, whatever. You get the point. $300,000 is not the cost of the tattoo, nor should it be the cost of the tattoo. I was in a debate a little while ago where someone said that tattoos would become more and more expensive, like they would be fine artists type of things, and I just did not see that. I don't see tattoos as getting more expensive. I see them as getting less expensive, or at least staying the same. And occasionally there will be artists who creep up over the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years or whatever. But I don't see a world where tattooing hits numbers like $100,000 for a back piece. I don't see that by any tattooer, nor do I think that that's where tattooing should go. Personally, I think that tattooing should always stay a people's art. I think it will. And I just think that this statement, believe, was kind of proof to a lot of people who believe that tattoos will hit those types of numbers, and I just know that they won't, okay? If I had all the money in the world, I just would not be able to pay for someone to numb me and get a tattoo. It just seems so, I know it's easy for people to be like, oh, you gotta earn the tattoo type of thing, but also there is part of that where I just go like, you're such a little bitch. I mean that from like a place that's like very understanding, like this is painful, but like, I don't wanna be Mr. Tough Guy. You're a bitch. Like you had to pay someone to numb you to get a tattoo. You're that incapable of handling a little bit of pain. And there's like a lot of you guys who are like, yeah, this hurts. And I go, I know, but does it hurt that bad that you can't handle getting tattooed? And then you could be like, I don't care what Kirk says, but like, you're gonna go your entire life running away from like the most small amount of pain? You're a bitch. I don't know, it's just, that's the truth. It's a type of pain you can overcome. It's a type of pain that probably makes you a tougher individual. And it's a type of pain that's not gonna kill you. And it's a type of pain that like every single person who's ever had a tattoo before you has done and dealt with. And so you're not gonna participate in the one thing that makes these things kind of special is like, yeah, you're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to like be a part of this process. And part of that process is dealing with the pain. And if you can't, like, you're just like, that's so sad, pathetic to me. Where are places that people choose not to? You know, there's lots of places in this world where you can cut corners now. I just go, oh, that's sad that you just can't at least try and go for it. On to the next. Now this is a guy who's not a little bitch. God damn it, dude. Got a cheese grater and just chopping off his tattoo. I would like to see the final results of this. I'm curious if he is actually doing this, because if he is, like, ooh, that's a tattoo and I have to do that too. I mean, I'm just like blown away by your commitment to the hatred of that tattoo. I equally hate the tattoo, have no clue what it is. I have no idea. It could be like the greatest tattoo ever, but I'm sure it's probably not. I hate it too. I hate it. Tattoos I don't hate are this one. No music here, so we're just gonna talk through this. This is like really clunky, really dumb traditional tattooing. I try not to show this type of tattooing very often because I kind of feel like it's something that you have to it's an acquired taste. But to me, it's my favorite kind. And I love this. Like, just putting big, bold, dumb things. None of this really makes sense. None of it really looks like, these aren't no Van Goghs happening here. But to me, I love it. Like, this is the type of stuff that gets my heart a little tangly. Like, don't know what half of the tattoos are at all, except for some of like them. Like, it's a mushroom, it's clunky. It's clunky, it's dumb. It's where my tastes have evolved to in tattooing, where I just go like, I like that. There's nothing really other than that to say about it. I understand if you dislike that, and I celebrate you for disliking it. It looks like child drawing, for sure. I get that. Yeah, can't debate that really. I just personally like that. And yeah, so here's the celebration to Dwan Tattoo Online. Don't know what that is. Dwan Tattoo Online. Very cool, very interesting. I fully support your dumb drawings. Next. Equally dumb drawings, just slightly less love in my heart for it. This is a tattoo. Okay, so there's obviously the part of me that like notices the technical tattooing on this and how there's a lot of flaws because of the light blues and the light yellows and all these different things. If it was all done in black, I'd hate it for a different type of reason, but because it's a color bomb watercolor thing, I don't like that very much. There's part of this that I don't mind at all. And I've been struggling with this one in particular because I'm like, I don't like it. And at the same time, I like it. Yeah, this one had me going back and forth on it for a while. Okay, so the technical parts of it, like smashing a head that's gonna see a lot of sun in like blues that cut across the face and like pinks that cut across the face, is a bad idea. A lot of that's gonna fade, and like what we're looking at right now is gonna change and distort in a way that I just cannot support, because I'm always like, that's bad tattooing. Having said that, the parts of the tattoo that need to be there for this whole image to make sense, a lot of it is done in black. So I don't know. I don't like it. I hate this type of style. Something about it's at least interesting. And I can kind of look back past the technical things because I don't think that they take away from the tattoo. I don't know. I want to hate it. I want to sit here and be like, I hate this. And I do. I want to hate it more, I guess is what I'm saying. And I can't because I just don't. Everyone sent me this. Probably this is a thumbnail, right? Probably you clicked on it. Everyone sent this one to me. They're like, ooh, Kirk's gonna rip this one apart. And I want to, and I could. I just don't have the energy in it today. And the truth is that there's parts of it that I think are, I fucking hate it. That's it. That's all. I don't know, maybe I'm losing my mind today. Let's go next. Oh, I have no clue what this one is.
Let me think of a story that might take your mind off the pain. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far away, there lived a young alien named Zorax. Zorax was known throughout his planet for his incredible ability to bend the laws of physics and manipulate energy with his mind.
I'm gonna leave it there because I just don't want to get through any of this anymore. This is bizarre to me. I don't think this has really anything to do with tattooing. I'm just like, that's so strange. I guess I'm not super tuned in with VR sets. Wild. On to the next. Guys, did I get scammed? $1,300. My dude, you were robbed. $1,300? Let me think. Yes, $1,300 for this tattoo. I'm gonna assume it's dollars, and we're gonna assume it's, 1,300 of them. There's a lot of assumption here because it could be Canadian dollars and that would make the tattoo less expensive. It could be British, what do you guys use? Pounds? Could be pounds and that would make it more expensive. It could mean it was pesos and it was $50. We're gonna assume that it's 1,300 American dollars. Do I think that this tattoo is worth it. It's the size of a leg. For a tattoo that would take me about 2 hours, do I think that it's worth it? No, not at all. So I think it's closer to like a $600-700 tattoo, probably. That's actually like one of those things, you know, we've talked a lot about price of tattoos, and a lot of people advocate for higher prices on tattoos because they think that they deserve more. And the problem really ends up being is that like other tattooers could like look at that and just be like, is that worth it? I don't know. I look at that and I go, $1,300 for that? Could have gotten it somewhere else for cheaper and maybe even better, if I might add. Like, there's nothing wrong with this tattoo. It's not like a bad tattoo or anything, but could you have gotten it for better, like a better price and by a better tattooer? Yeah, maybe, probably. And then if it was like an amazing tattoo, $1,300, okay, fine. Is it worth $1,300 to me? I don't know. You know, like tattoo pricing has gotten to a place where it's like, hey, that's expensive. People are gonna talk about your pricing and whether or not it's good and whether or not it's worth it. I'm just not sure. Was he robbed? Absolutely not. You know, what are we talking about? It's not a $4,800 tattoo or something like that, or a $2,000 or $3,000 tattoo. It's $1,300. Is that overpriced to me? Yes. Is it a scam? No. It's just what the tattoo cost. And that's what he agreed to pay, I guess. So, hey, whatever. On to the next. This is where I will leave you. This is a guy in his house tattooing on his face, on my phone, over your phone, as I talk about it. I don't know. This is layers deep, guys. We're talking about deep, deep, deep situations, like this guy tattooing his face. Now, is there anything to learn from this? Yes. Be grateful you're not that guy. I will see you in exactly 2 or 3 days. Ciao, ciao bella, adios. Have a good one.